All right, guys, special day. We have the C8 Corvette, the all-new first mid-engine, first available without a manual transmission Corvette. And we're going to get to your questions. And first, we're going to answer the ones submitted via Instagram. So if you follow me at MilesPerHr, you can ask me questions early on because I'll submit a questionnaire thing. And you can also submit them on YouTube's community when I post the picture of the car and a question asking what you want to know about it. And so we will start with the questions. And first off, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. We've got daily videos, including POV drives and walkarounds and this live Q&A and a review coming on next Monday for this Corvette. So let's start off with the questions.
Well, hello everyone. First,
you got to speak up, Christina.
Hello everyone.
There we go.
Thanks for joining. Okay, this is MilesPerHr. People are asking, who are you? Okay, exhaust note. Grandma sharded herself. From Grandma.
Grandma sharded herself. that was from Grandma sharded herself. All right, we're getting right into it. Start off with the exhaust note for the C8 Corvette. Shabby?
I think that concludes the show for today.
All right, that'll be it. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you later. Still no sound, huh? Sorry about the audio. I'm not really sure why we're not getting audio on this. That's a bummer.
Now, yes, okay.
Now we have audio. Okay, good.
Oh, sorry guys.
Sorry about that. I'm not sure why. YouTube, I find that their live videos suck sometimes. So if you're listening, YouTube.
Did everyone hear the exhaust note?
I hope that they did. Well, let's rev it again, just for fun.
Oh.
Let's go to the exhaust note one more time. Never hurts to hear that twice.
They did.
They did?
Just go.
Let's do it again. More exhaust note.
Right, back to the styling.
Back to the styling, because we got to make progress here. Blake asked about the styling. There was a big transition between C6 and C7 because they got much more modern with their styling, sharper, more edgy. And then C8, they kind of keep the edgy stuff, but obviously with it going from front engine to mid engine, a lot of the styling had to change. So there's no longer a really long hood. You have this more truncated hood. It still has the pinnacle up here, very pointed nose with a lot of strakes built into the hood design. That's going to tell you that this is a Corvette after all on the road. Though so many people, I've been driving this around for a week, so many people think this is another supercar. Is that a Ferrari? Is that a McLaren? No, it's Corvette. So shorter hood, and then more tapered roofline, because of course now we have to fit the engine behind the driver and passenger. So it's a mid-engine layout, so that really just stretches the back end of the car out. And I like the profile quite a bit. I like the front 3/4 angle quite a bit. But now we get to the rear, and here's where I start to have some issues with the design. I find that it's very busy. And Blake asked specifically about the trunk. You know, it's really long here because they wanted to fit a good-sized trunk. They wanted to be for their drivers to be able to fit a set of golf clubs. So I'm going to trade the trunk. It's actually one of two trunks. There's a front trunk, like so many supercars, but many supercars do not have a trunk behind the engine. In this case, we do. And it's not just a trunk, it's a good-sized trunk. It's right here.
I know.
Oh, you just want to show off the engine? So, good-sized trunk. You can fit a set of golf clubs in here, which, I mean, I guess that is the one, because I feel like so much of this car is not tailored to the typical sort of middle-aged male who has been buying the Corvette for many years. Now it's very much about the next wave of enthusiasts. But the trunk with the golf club size opening is very much tailoring to that buyer set. But hey, I don't mind golf. It's not that bad. So yes, I find that the design language is good up until right about here at the rear. Yep, it is soft closed, but you have to get it far enough down. Okay, it's just busy to me. Like there's too much going on. We got the lights that are going in this direction and that direction, and then we've got the venting, which is all right, but then square exhaust ports. I don't know who signed off on that, but that's not a good design decision. I realize that they're trying to keep it cohesive with the rest of the angular parts of the car, but square exhaust, no. I know, like AMG, for example, does trapezoidal exhaust, but they're more stretched wide. These are square. I don't like that. But anyway, I just find, you know, I think on the Z51 package you get this spoiler. I think the spoiler is a bit busy. It wants to be a lip spoiler, and it also wants to be a full-on spoiler, so or full-on wing. So I don't know what it wants to be, but it's too much. I don't hate the rear end. I just don't like it as much as I do the rest of the car's design. That's my answer about styling.
I do like this top part.
Yeah, I think this is really well designed. I love that they give you the pass-through, the see-through into the engine as stock. You don't have to pay extra for this glass piece. And that's kind of the theme of this car. You get a lot for your money. So much for your money. This is one of those cool features.
How much is it?
It's $60,000, just under that, $59,995 to start. This one with the 2LT package and the Z51 package is $78,000. Still a heck of a value if you ask me. All right, what were the other questions? I'm glad we can hear me now.
How many shifts to get you to 60? It's geared so low, from John G.
Okay, John asked about how many shifts does it take to get to 60 miles an hour, and that's because this car will be revs to 6,500 RPM. So many other supercars with their twin turbo engines or high revving flat plane crank engines, they will be able to do 60 in they'll do it in second gear, so it's one shift. This car, it's just after the second shift. So as soon as you get into third gear, you're hitting 60. But yes, you do have to do that one additional shift. Fortunately, this 8-speed automatic, dual clutch automatic is very, very fast. So the delay it's giving you in terms of the 0 to 60 is not bad at all. It does 0 to 60 in about 3 seconds. And I've confirmed that with my own driving of this car. It's very quick. So you don't feel like, oh man, I have to shift again. It does it very quickly. The transmission's very fast. I like this gearbox. But good question.
Okay, does it understeer beneath the limit, from Alberto?
does it understeer beneath the limit? So, you know, one of the things that has been said about this new Corvette is that it understeers. And while I will admit that it does indeed understeer, it does not do so beneath the limit. So good question. I find that it behaves really, really well in all performance situations right up to the limit. At the limit, yes, it's going to understeer. Even if you turn off all the systems, as I've done, it still is going to understeer. It doesn't want to bring this rear end around. It's just how they've set up the car, either with the cambering of the wheels, with the suspension, whatever they've done, they've set it up such that it wants to plow that front end at the limit. But beneath the limit, as we all are going to experience this car in most situations. So basically everything except for a track experience, you will not notice the understeer. It's going to behave really, really well.
Okay, this or new GT500 without track pack for mid 70K, Matthew, from Matthew.
Okay, so the question is, would I choose this or the new GT500 without the track package? Both are going to be in the mid 70,000. If you equip this one nicely, as this one is equipped, mid 70, yes, it's 78, higher 70. But the GT500, also great in terms of handling. That car is really transformed over the generations. I would choose this. I think this looks much more striking on the road. The GT500 looks like a Mustang. There are a million Mustangs. They're gonna sell a lot of these, so you will see much more of them, but it's like a supercar. It still looks like a supercar. People confuse it for exotics all the time. I would choose this. I feel like the ride quality is superb. Not that it's bad in the GT500, but the fit and finish in the interior is vastly better in this car than the GT500 in my experience. So I would choose this. It's gonna be this, just as quick to 60. Top end should be pretty close. GT500 probably has the edge there, but I mean, on a track they're gonna be very similar. I would choose this.
All right, let's sit in the interior and I'll ask you some questions. What do you think?
Okay, we'll sit in the interior.
Just 'cause they want to see it.
Christina says, and she's going to ask me some more questions.
Plus, I want AC.
And she wants air conditioning. It's hot. It's hot here.
Hey, what could Chevy have done better from Eugene?
What could Chevy have?
That's not good.
No, that's not good. What could Chevy have done better? I think that it would be really nice, as I've already said, if the car's natural reaction is at the limit for the rear end to come around a bit more. That would be really nice. I think that the rear end design could be improved, and it's gonna seem small, but I don't like the look of the steering wheel. I don't mind that it's squared off here. That's not a problem. It's racing car inspired, but I don't like this V and these like dinky feeling and looking buttons down here. It's cluttered, and I just don't like that design. All those things apart, I think they've killed it with this car. Absolutely killed it.
Okay.
Look at this interior. Look how it's like, this is like I'm sure you could spec it higher than this with like the 3LT package. This is a 2LT package, and all of the fit and finish in here is really solid. Super solid, nice feeling leather with a contrast stitching. This 8-inch infotainment is standard. That 12-inch digital instrument cluster is standard with cool graphics. The fit and finish of the buttons and controls is solid. This Bose 14-speaker sound system is really good as well. I think they killed it with the interior of this car. And I do like that you can look through and see your engine back there. You do have a big blind spot, but it's not awful.
It is snug.
It's snug, but the ride quality is excellent if you get magnetic ride control, as this car has.
Okay, next question. I know it's quick, but is it fun to drive like the C7 from Paul?
I miss the manual transmission. I definitely miss the manual gearbox. They couldn't add it the way they've set up this car because there's so much relying on chassis rigidity and this center transmission tunnel. They couldn't break up the rigidity by adding the manual gearbox. So I get it from an objective standpoint. From a subjective enthusiast standpoint, I miss the manual gearbox. That's a lot of fun. But the driving dynamics of this car are really, really good. And it's such that I don't really feel like I'm sacrificing anything else. I think that the car is super fun to drive. The steering is very direct. I get quite a bit of feedback for an electronic rack. The transmission is smooth and quick. It's a good time. I feel like the driving dynamics are well sorted in this car, apart from the mild understeer.
Okay, hey boss, is this the best bang for your buck? From I'm Joku.
Yes, I'm Joku, a Patreon supporter. Thank you, Joku. You're awesome. And yes, I think this is the best bang for your buck in the performance car world right now.
Whoa, hey, sorry guys.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So,
sorry guys.
yes, I think that this is the best performance bang for your buck. There's so much that you have here. You have the look, which is 80% good. Again, the rear end is not my favorite. The performance is so solid. 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. Top speed 184 miles an hour. I don't know what the quarter mile time is off the top of my head, but it's not going to be much more than 11 seconds. Really, really, really well sorted car to drive. Like I said, the driving dynamics are really good. The interior is pretty luxurious for something that starts at 60 grand, $78,000 even. This is really nice. So I think that this is such a value. GM, Chevy, you killed it with this car. I already shared my quibbles with it, but nothing completely like changes my opinion on it being such a good value.
Okay. And you let me know if you want to step out.
Yeah.
Can you fit anything in the trunk when the roof is stowed? From Hayden.
Good time to step out. Hayden, good question. Can you fit anything in the trunk when the roof is stowed? Of course, there are two trunks. I'll show you both of them. Let's step out now. To open the door, you press a button here. Hard to show. But you press this button, then the door releases. So this car is a Targa. There is going to be a convertible version of this car, and if you get the convertible, you won't get to see the pretty engine. So I would kind of lean towards the Targa, especially because if you want the kind of open top feel, a Targa roof still allows for that sun on your head and the wind in your hair and all that. But it does mean that you have to take off the top manually and stow it in the trunk. So I'm going to show you that trunk again. And it is equipped with points to lock in this Targa top. So take off the Targa top, go to the interior, and in front of the driver and passenger is this pull tab. You pull up on this tab here, pull it over, and then you press this button.
This is hard to fit.
Yeah. And that one releases, and then I have to do that on the other side. And then I will be able to just pull off the Targa top. You'll see it doesn't weigh very much. I don't know what the actual poundage is on it, but it's not heavy. All right, so once that's off, I can lift up.
Oh.
And that's how the roof comes off. And then it finds its way into a couple of different connection points here. And once those are on, then you're gonna feel like you're braking it, but you press down on this to lock it into those 2 points. Now, the question was, can you fit anything in the trunk with that in there? You don't wanna fit anything that would scratch the roof, certainly. You could fit some soft stuff in between this space right here, but I really would just leave that alone. I wouldn't touch that trunk. I would go to the other trunk of this car, the front trunk, to put things inside. We have put a few things in here loosely, but you could fit a smaller suitcase in there. You could probably fit a duffel even on top of that. It's a good sized space, and I think the cubic footage of this and that trunk is 13 cubic feet of space. It's very accommodating for a supercar, for sure. That's yet another thing that like Chevy killed. It's not just the design, it's the functionality of this car. How easy is it to use? That looked like a dental instrument that I just kicked. I don't know why that's here, but very easy to use. This is also what it looks like without the top.
Well, you definitely can't fit your golf clubs in the back with the top down.
No, with the top down, you can't fit your golf clubs in there.
Okay.
if you golf.
Horn check from Pablito.
Pablito always asks about the horn. I'm glad. I'd love to do the horn. Are you ready, Christina? I don't want to scare you. Doing a horn check. Kind of weak.
Picking up for school. Okay. You've already said this. 0 to 60 full throttle, please.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll show you that at the very end of this
Okay.
video when we go drive it, but
Top-
3 seconds.
Top speed and horsepower, you already said that from
184 miles an hour is the top speed. The horsepower, now let's go look at the engine. The horsepower from this 6.2 liter non-supercharged, aka naturally aspirated, no forced induction V8 is 490 as standard. If you get the Z51 package that I have, then it's 495, and torque regardless is 470 pound-feet. I know that was one of the other questions someone asked. The torque, 470 pound-feet, and it goes to the rear wheels.
All right. What's the engine bay like? Will it be easy to work on? From Dylan H. We just saw the engine
Well, there's
bay.
the engine bay, and
Well, you don't work on cars, so you know that answer.
I mean, I do work on cars. I don't work on engines
Well, there
necessarily.
you go. That's what I meant.
But I feel like it would be kind of hard to work on. You're going to have to take a lot of these top panels off. This is definitely injection molded plastic or something of the sort. So you'd have to take these pieces off. You'd probably, I'm not sure, but to get to some things, you're probably going to have to remove the gas struts and maybe even this panel, this body panel, to get access via the side of the car. Because it, like, from the back, you're not going to be able to reach certain things very well. From the side, you're going to be like down like this. Probably get to, you know, like if you need to change an air filter, if you need to do the oil, I'm guessing you can do those kind of basic maintenance things without having to remove things to access certain parts. But it's not the easiest thing to work on. Certainly not as easy as opening a hood and just looking inside.
How is the handling on tight corners from CarMath?
Okay, so kind of explain this a little bit, how, you know, until you are at the very limits of this car's traction, performance, braking, and you know, power delivery with the traction there, the handling is very good, very neutral. And I would say that only when you're really, really pushing the car, like you would on a racetrack, and maybe on a certain canyon road, if you didn't have to worry about injuring yourself, then I would say you're going to encounter understeer in those situations. The front end of the car, understeer, if you don't know, front end of the car is going to plow forward. The back end will not come around, the car will not rotate, it will plow forward with those front wheels, pushing you. So I would say that in those situations, you're going to be like, man, I really wish this car was more dialed for oversteer than understeer. Heck, just more neutral in general would be appropriate. But up till those very harsh limits, it behaves beautifully. The turn-in is really sharp, immediate. The feedback you get from the wheel is good. The brakes are solid. The Z51 comes with monoblock, 4-piston brakes, front and rear, as opposed to, I think it's 2-piston, which is it's a split cast rotor system, I think, for the non-Z51 package. Anyway, brakes are good. There's not ventilation for those rotors, but they do a great job. I don't know how they would fare on a racetrack without ventilation. Not on a racetrack. On the canyon roads I took this on, it did very well.
Okay, how much attention does it get from Anthony Liu?
Quite a bit, which I'm not one for attention. I don't really love it, but this car gets a ton of it on the road. Like I said, people confuse it for other exotic supercars. So you're driving around in this and people are looking. They may be looking for 2 reasons. One, they think it's something else, and 2, they know what it is and they just haven't seen a new Corvette yet. But it does get a lot of attention. We'll see if that holds up over time as they sell more of these.
Okay, from Green Slushy Box, I just want to say you're reviewing an awesome color, and they did a great job with this Corvette.
Yeah, good.
Everyone's liking the color.
The color,
Do
yes.
you know the name?
The color is Lakeheart Blue Metallic. Lakeheart is a lake near Road America. Blake Swan told me that. And this one, it's a gorgeous color, especially in the sun. You can see the metallic flake probably right here. Oh, okay. Yeah, you can see the metallic flake. It's a gorgeous paint color. You don't have to pay a cent extra for it. I love that. So it's one of those standard paint colors on the car. Looks good. One of the other things I don't really like about this particular car is the wheels. I think they're very busy. 19-inch front, 20-inch rears, and I just think there's too much going on here. They're trying to do too many things. I'll get more into that in the review. Aside would be that I don't like the wheels that much.
Okay, what's the infotainment from Alvin?
Mentioned it briefly, didn't really show it a lot, is this 8-inch infotainment screen right
Can
here.
you just put the sound on?
Huh?
Let's hear the sound, the audio.
Okay, but he was asking about the infotainment, not the audio system.
Why is it?
Well, okay. Well, I mean, I could play the Bose 14-speaker sound system briefly because I don't want to get copyright issues.
Oh.
But
And the party's over, I'm still on your couch now.
so that's the Bose audio system. Sorry, can't play very long. I don't want YouTube copyright issues. But it is an 8-inch infotainment screen. It has Apple CarPlay. It has Android Auto. If you have polarized sunglasses on, you won't be able to see a thing. Not too much glare when you're driving around town. It's a good infotainment. It's very responsive, high resolution. I love the backup camera on it. Very high resolution. Makes it really easy to spot things that you don't want to hit.
How's the drive feel from Cedric?
We kind of got into this already.
How much torque from Sasha?
470.
How much does it cost from That Car Fanboy?
So went over this already, but just under $60,000 to start, $59,995, which is awesome. That includes destination. And then this one as equipped is $78,000, which I still think is a great value.
Okay, and then I love you, bro, from TikTok Amazing.
Thank you. Love you too, bro.
Okay, now I'm getting into YouTube.
YouTube questions.
So bear with me because there's a lot in the chat, so I'm going back up to the top.
If you want yours to be prioritized, you can always do the super chat thing. Just throwing it out there.
Oh, it cut off actually a lot of the chat. Sorry, guys.
Oh man, sorry.
Okay, I'm just going to start from what I can see. Why are almost all of them more than 100K on Auto Trader from Al Kalesh Kumar KR?
That's because of markups. Dealer markups, because these cars are so new and everyone wants them, dealers are going to be able to charge kind of whatever they want for them. So even though the car starts at $60,000, even though this one's MSRP is $78,000, if you're to go try to buy this car at a dealership, they're going to ask over 100 grand, 100,000 around there. And you can try to negotiate, but they're like, well, if you don't buy it, the next guy in line will. So if you really, really want this car right now, you're going to be looking at $100,000 for it. Even though that makes it much less of a bargain than it already is. If you can wait, which I might suggest, if you don't have to have it right now, I would wait. Wait till the enthusiasm settles just a bit and dealers will have to bring down their prices.
All right, we already went over the interior. That was another question.
Oh, well, one thing we didn't see, you just showed the front. Let's show them the seats. So one of the options on this car are these GT2 bucket seats. And they are not just comfortable, they're really supportive. Nice carbon fiber details, the gloss carbon fiber in here. Love these seats. Big, big fan of these seats. A lot of adjustability to them. They hold you in place in tight corners while also still being comfortable on your daily drive. This one also has torch red seat belts. But hopefully that satisfies your interior questions with all the other things we've addressed so far.
Okay. Back up. comments, just mainly questions. What on this car is different from other cars? It's one of a kind from Mr. Fish Sticks.
I mean, that's a very broad question. What about this car is different from other cars? Well, no supercar, which there's so many vast definitions of supercar, but for the purposes of this particular case right here, we'll call it a mid-engine, high horsepower vehicle. There are no supercars that cost $60,000. No new supercars that cost $60,000. Don't exist. So this is unique in that way.
All right. Oh, that's a nice compliment. I'll give you a compliment. MilesPerHr, the honest person. I really wait for your videos from Urzum Tech.
Thank you, Urzum. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Let's show them the front. Let's do some panning.
So he also wants to meet you in real life. Okay.
Oh, that'd be
we
fun.
already got the interior tour. Okay, from KB. And I know this car's a two-seater, but could it possibly fit three?
Not a chance. Not a chance. Unfortunately, it is definitively a two-seater car. Two seats. You could not even fit a third person's buttocks, even a child, in between those two. So no, two-seater for sure.
From Sam Sharma, for the same lease price, would you get this or a V8 F-Type R?
Oh, well, that is one of this car's rivals, the F-Type. And yeah, their leases are probably going to end up very similar, even though the F-Type is around 110, 115. I would go with this. I really would. And I wouldn't have said that about a previous generation Corvette. I probably would have gone with the F-Type because it made a better noise. It looked sleeker. The new Corvette now is like, it's a desirable product. That's what Chevy killed with this car. They really killed it. It's a very desirable looking, feeling, performing car. So I would go with this. It's one of my favorite cars on sale, full stop, seriously. This is now one of my favorite cars, having driven it for a week.
That's saying a lot. Okay. From the random Bugatti. Oh, it's me, Prathamesh. I changed my name.
Oh, okay.
But how does the Corvette compare to the muscle pack like the Hellcat, etc., or the GT50?
Yeah, so I mean, this car feels very different on the road from those cars. Even though the new GT500, the Camaro ZL1, 1LE, or ZL1, sorry, ZL1, those feel very much still like muscle cars. They've been refined, they are more livable, but they feel like muscle cars. This feels like a sports/supercar on the road. It's smooth in what it does. It is confident in what it does. It doesn't feel like unrefined necessarily. I do find that the one thing that's really like kind of an odd mishmash with this car is it's got the muscle car engine. The 6.2 liter naturally aspirated V8 engine, that's a muscle car engine. It's just in a supercar body. That's kind of funny. And that's why the red line is so low. It's why the car, I mean, I don't know. It's just sort of an interesting mishmash, but you're asking about how it compares to those muscle cars. It feels more refined than those. It feels more low slung, more special, I would say.
Okay, from Halal Saif, C8 or C7 from the backside?
Oh, good question, because the backside is not my favorite. Oh man, I'm gonna say C7.
All right.
C7 from the back.
Blake Nona, LED turn signals, question mark?
Yeah, I'll show them to you. Right here, not incandescent, they're LEDs. They look pretty slick.
Nice. Okay, from the random Bugatti, which is
Prathamesh.
does it feel congested in the driver's side?
Driver's side, no. I would say, like I said, like I've critiqued a bit, the steering wheel feels somewhat cluttered. But apart from that, no, it doesn't feel congested. It feels like driver focused. It feels like the digital instrument cluster has cool graphics. Anything I want is a touch away. And that's why that spine on the center with all those climate controls threw people through a loop. They're like, well, this doesn't make any sense. When you're the driver, it does. You can easily see and reach all of those climate controls. So I find that it's not oversaturated with content. It's just the right amount in the right places.
Okay, from Eric Felix, maintenance cost.
No idea. Brand new car.
Okay, Area 51 Massacre. Oh, sorry, it's just a comment. I'll read it. Collab with Doug Maduro.
Doug DeMuro. That would be cool. Would love to collab with Doug. He's not far away from here. He's like in Newport. I'm in Costa Mesa. Not far.
From Kay, could you do a burnout?
Could you? Yes. When you turn off all the systems, you put your foot down, it would be a very short burnout because this car really wants traction. So, and there isn't overwhelming amounts of power. I mean, 495, that's a lot of power, but it doesn't, it's lightweight. It doesn't want to do burnouts. It doesn't want to do extended burnouts. I did very brief ones when I turned off all of the systems. I keep walking close, sorry, because I want you to hear me.
Yeah, but you keep approaching me and I'm trying to see the car.
She's scared, folks.
I just want you to back up.
She doesn't want her husband to get too close.
You just keep coming forward and I have to back up more.
Hello.
It's like,
Hello.
oh, over there. Okay. Nice car, dude. How much did you pay for it? From Kyle Reed.
Did not pay for it. Any of the cars that you see on this channel are not my own, except for the ones that I clearly say are my own, like the Land Cruiser. But all of the cars that you see on this channel, I am fortunate enough to review. They are the property of the automaker. So this is Chevy's car.
And you will tell them how at 100,000 subscribers.
Yes, good point, Christina. Once we get to 100,000, we're getting close there. We get to 100,000, I will give you a full explanation of how I got this job, how you may be able to do this job as well. So let's get to 100,000 so I can do that. So I can share that with you.
From Davion Dillahunt, are you going to be driving this?
Yes, I will drive it. I've been driving it for a week, but I will drive it for this video as we wrap things up. It may actually be time. Christina, is it time?
Yes.
Yeah,
and
let's.
Then it'll be a short drive.
Yeah, you know what? I may need to put the top up because the wind buffeting is pretty bad.
Oh.
So I'm going to put the top back up. So you can see how that works. You can see how I can put the top back up. Pull it out of its holders. Again, sounds like you're breaking it. You're not really breaking it. It doesn't weigh much. So you do back side first, then front side. This is one of those times you're like, don't screw this up on camera, Miles. Live video. That. Hold the two levers, I said. And you're done. Top's up. All right, let's go for a drive.
Oh, they mentioned my cup. Should you grab it? Thanks, guys.
Yes, thank you.
I often leave cups in this
Christina
parking
forgets
lot.
her cups. We come back and get them.
I
we
switched
do
over
not-
to paper because I was.
We do not
leaving-
approve of, yeah, she's forgotten mugs, like full-on ceramic mugs before. We do not approve of litter. We do not sponsor that with MilesPerHr. Good call. Thank you. We would have forgotten that. And then came and picked it up.
Wait, someone asked if you could put a Demon Challenger.
Oh,
engine?
motor in this?
Yeah.
I don't know if there's enough space. Even though it's 6.2 liters, I don't know if there's enough space for a supercharger on top of this V8 engine. An interesting question. That would be an interesting motor in this. Already we've got a very high horsepower muscle car-esque engine in this. So to put a Demon's engine in that, wild.
What do you think about the T50?
Oh, the new, yeah, that new car from Gordon Murray. I think it's awesome. I think it's super. Sorry. Okay, more air. She wants more air. The new T50 by Gordon Murray, the same guy who designed the McLaren F1. I think it's awesome. I think it is a modern version of that McLaren F1, a manual gearbox in a car, in a supercar, a modern day supercar. What this car doesn't have, I think it's fantastic. Fantastic. I'm going to turn on the air for a quick sec so we can hear the acceleration. Okay, I put it in sport mode, foot down. Sounds pretty nice. Pretty nice. Build speed very quickly. You can see that these shifts are lightning fast. Yeah, that's good stuff. I like that. I hope we get a chance to do launch control because that's pretty fun as well. And someone asked specifically for launch control.
Great.
Christina's happy about that. She does get motion sick.
Yeah, I get very motion sick, so just so you guys have a heads up. Okay. From Prime, oh, this is nice. This live streaming and Q&A format is great. Just found you and I subscribed.
Oh, thank you for subscribing. Thank you so much. We'll keep up these videos.
And then Volleyball Night. Indians will welcome if Corvette come to India with this car.
I would love that. That'd be super cool if this car made it over there.
Oh, good question. Area 51 massacre. No, oh, how? No, sorry, that's from Danny Aguilar. How is the passenger space?
Oh, Christina?
Well, I'm a pregnant woman, so, I mean, I'm 5'9", and I have enough leg room. I would say if I get any larger, the seat is going to be tight.
Yeah.
It's
How do you feel? Do you feel, because one of the things that people criticized was this big centerpiece here and how it kind of cuts in on the passenger space. Do you feel that?
Not really, but I'm also not, I don't know, I feel like if you were
big,
larger,
yeah,
it would, but
it's not too bad.
no, and it's snug in the back. I feel comfortable in the seat.
That's good.
Yeah. I do think it's tight, but it's not like other supercars where you're like rigid and uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, there you go. There's your honest feedback from a passenger.
Oof. Okay. How about the engine temperature in the C8 from Halal?
I've not seen engine temperature rise to a point of any concern while I've been driving this car, even when I've been driving it enthusiastically. And even in the heat that we've been experiencing lately here in Southern California, I've not experienced any issues, engine temperature warnings or anything like that. The Z51 package does also include a more heavy-duty cooling system for high-performance duty, so that's helping there for sure.
Does the door have a mechanical release or only an electrical one from Harsh?
I'm sure it will have some emergency mechanical release. I don't know of where it is or how to operate it, but most of these modern cars with electronic releases have some manual override in case of an emergency, a rollover, or just a failure to open the door. So, it's in here somewhere.
Are the mirrors good from Area 51?
Yeah, they're not bad. They stick out wide from the car so you can see around the hips of it, and it's a good size area that's reflected, so I don't have any issues with the mirrors.
Okay, and then we just got an I love you.
Oh, all right. Love you too.
Oh, that's nice. From Prathamesh. I remember you on similar roads when you were going to announce you were going to do YouTube full time. You've come a long way. Aim for the stars always. May the force be with you.
Yeah, thank you, Prathamesh. You're absolutely right. I remember driving maybe down this road even when I did that video about doing daily uploads. So thanks for you've been here for a while. Thanks, Prathamesh.
All right, and then the last two questions. Does the cluster change, or instrument cluster?
Yes, it does. So let's show them that. So I'm going to go from sport mode to over here. Can you see? So from sport mode to track mode. You can see it changes from the instrument cluster, goes from a standard kind of tachometer
It's kind of hard to see. but
to
this little-
with the glare in the steering wheel in the way. Yeah, sorry about that. But it does change. It now gives me the tachometer horizontally across the top of the instrument cluster, and yeah. So the digital gauge cluster does change. Is the answer to your question. If you cannot see that, I apologize. I hope we get a shot. I hope we get a chance to launch control before the video ends. We've just been hitting a series of either green lights or we've been not just the first person. And I will show you how to engage launch control when we end up in a situation where we can launch. Any other questions as of this moment? No?
No.
Okay. Well, then I will give a little gas. You can hear that 6.2 liter V8. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, I thought he was going to drive into the road. And now he is in the road right now. Not safe, sir. Oh, please go red light so I can do launch control.
Wow, no mask. You get a $100 fine.
Yeah. Oh man, we made it. Oh, and it's not a red light anymore. Well, we won't get to launch control in this video. It looks like, unfortunately.
People really want the launch.
Oh man. Well, I'm not sure what to do.
Last question. Does the C7 or C8 sound better?
That's a good question. I don't know. Honestly, the Z51 also has a freer flowing exhaust system, so it gets the most out of that 6.2 V8. I'm going to say maybe this sounds a little bit better. They both sound really good. I want to say this one sounds a little better, despite the fact that it has awful looking squared off exhaust ports. Come on, launch control somewhere. Red light somewhere. Okay, red
All
light,
right.
there you go, I asked for it. So the way you engage launch control is you go into track mode. So I went into track, and then I hit the traction control button twice. 1, 2, and then it gives me an option of performance traction. Wet, dry, Sport 1, Sport 2, race. Doesn't matter which one you choose, you're gonna be able to do launch control on all of them. I'm just gonna say Sport 1. And then we will wait for the light to go green. It's going to be a second. Unfortunately, it's a longer light that we've had to stop at here.
We already tried the sound system earlier.
Yeah, try the sound system. I'll crank it real quick. It's a good sound system. 14 speaker Bose. And for the launch, I will turn down the AC just a bit. Christina's dying right now of the heat, so I will turn it down once the light goes green. Okay, so light is green, foot on the brake. Let it go at 35 RPM. And that's that. We went over 60 miles an hour, let's put it that way. We had like 73 maybe. Maybe. But yeah, so that's the launch in the C8 Corvette. Not a lot of wheel spin as we experienced. Tons of fun. So that's that. And I think we're going to end the video there. Thank you guys so much for sticking around, asking all good questions, and being a part of MilesPerHr. If you've not subscribed, subscribe. Daily videos. And expect the ones to come out for the C8, not this week. I guess it's Sunday. Next week. So next week, leading up to the review of this car on Monday of next week.
All right, thanks so much.
Thanks, guys.